Hello everyone. I'm Dr. Sapna Redwal. I'm working as a professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. This is my third lecture of Unit 1, Organizational Behavior. This subject is taught in CSC, ETC, Civil Engineering 4th semester. Till now I have covered meaning and definition, nature of management, managerial levels, skills required to do a manager's job, functions of management, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. I have also discussed in my earlier lecture interrelationship of managerial functions. Now, in this lecture, the topic I am going to cover are scope of management, management and social responsibility, and difference between management and administration. So I'm starting with scope of management. The scope means what are the areas where the management is applied. As per the definition, management is everywhere. We have already discussed in earlier lecture that management is everywhere at all levels. Without management, no goals can be achieved. The first scope which comes under that is financial management. So financial management includes accounting, budgetary control, quality control, financial planning, and managing the overall finances of the business. So finance is viewed as one of the most important factors in every enterprise. Financial management is concerned with managerial activities pertaining to the procurement and utilization of funds or finance for business purposes. The main functions of financial management includes estimation of capital requirement, ensuring a fair return to investors, determining the suitable sources of funds, laying down the optimum and suitable capital. So in all these functions, management is required. So without management, these activities cannot be performed. Then comes personnel management, which is personnel management includes recruitment, training, transfer, promotion, demotion, retirement, termination, labor welfare, and social security, industry relations. In all these activities cannot be done without the help of management. So the operating functions of personal management cannot be done without management. Whether it is a recruitment or training, management is required. Without the help of management, the personal management will not be able to recruit best people and place best people at the right job. And other policies also, whether it is policy related to promotion, retirement, welfare, all activities management is required. Without management, these activities cannot be performed effectively and efficiently. Then comes production management. So production management includes production planning, production control techniques, quality control, and inspection, and time and emotion studies. So without management, all these activities cannot be performed. Whether it is production planning, the first function of the management is planning. Without planning, so production planning cannot be done without management. It is same with the other activities. Then come purchasing management. It includes inviting tenders for the raw material, placing orders, entering into contracts, and material controls. Then comes maintenance management. It involves proper care and maintenance of building, plants, and machinery. Then comes transport management. It includes packaging, warehousing, and transportation by rail, road, or by air. Then comes distribution management. It includes marketing, market research, price determination, taking market risk, and advertising, publicity, and sales promotion. All these activities are done everywhere management is in all the activities. Application of management is compulsory. Without management, these activities cannot be performed. When comes office management, he has to manage office. Wherever management is there, management is a crucial. Without management cannot be done. Even without management, office cannot be managed equally as well. Also, office management includes activities to properly manage the layout, staffing, equipment of the office, etc. So we have seen this is the scope of management where management is applied. Now the next topic is management and social responsibility. The social responsibility of the business refers to such decisions and activities of business firms which provide for the welfare of the society as a whole, along with the earning of profit for the firm. So the business firms function and act in such a way that it will accomplish social gains, that is social output, along with the traditional economic gains, that is economic output, in which the business firm is interested. Now the meaning of social responsibility. According to the Adolphe Berle has defined, he says that social responsibility is the management's responsiveness to public consensus. So according to Professor Andrews, he says the social responsibility means the intelligent and objective concern for the welfare of the society that restrains individual and corporate behavior from ultimately destructive activities, no matter how immediately profitable, and leads in the direction of positive contribution to human betterment, variously as the latter may be defined. So, according to Keith Davis, social responsibility refers to the businessman's decision and actions taken for reasons at least partially beyond the firm's direct economic or technical interest. So, it is very clear the definition of the social responsibility, very clear from this, that social responsibility means social responsibility means the corporate, they have started thinking about society now. They have started thinking about they are doing they are while making profits they are thinking about the society as well too. So an analysis of the above definition of social responsibility reveals the following social responsibilities that reveals the following: that social responsibility refers to the objective concern of business firm for the welfare of society, and it involves following by the management of such policy, making of such decision, or following of such line of action which are desirable in terms of objectives and values of society. So the concept of social responsibility means our business firm should not ignore the welfare of the society. Policies and decisions of the business enterprise should focus on value of society. Then third one is earning profit by honoring value of the society, and finally assisting the promotion and welfare of the society. So this is the gist of social responsibility definition. Now factors or reasons for increased social consciousness. In recent years, there has been an increased social consciousness among businessmen. The factors that have contributed to this increased awareness of social responsibility among businessmen are: the first is business owners are very conscious now, as they understand that if they will think about their profit only and will not think about employees and society, they will not be able to survive for a longer period of time. And the democratic governments are elected by the people. In most of the countries, there are democratic now these days. So the main aim of the democratic governments is to protect the interest of the society by various legislative enactments, which regulates the activities of the business enterprises and prevent them from indulging into antisocial business practices. So there are lot of consumer protection or lot of consumer protection laws are there which helps the consumers and which are in favor of the consumers. So businessmen have to follow social responsibility. We have to perform some social responsibilities. They have to involve in various activities of social responsibility. Now, these days, different types of cooperative societies have come into existence for the purpose of protecting the interest of the consumer from the exploitation by businessmen. The establishment of cooperative act as a countervailing force against private business concerns. So this factor also has influenced businessmen to think in terms of their responsibility towards the society. Now, there is a social movement called consumerism has come into existence with the aim of protecting the interest of consumers against producers and traders. So this consumerism concept has also uh, made businessmen realize that their responsibility towards the society. So they are responsible if they are making profits. They are responsible towards society as well also. Then realization on the part of business that they cannot survive for a longer period of time if they do not act in a responsible manner, and if they do not supply quality goods at reasonable rate is also another factor which he has made, which business has made alive to their social obligation. Now businessmen, they want to enhance their goodwill. Now businessmen, they want to enhance their goodwill in the eyes of the people by supplying goods, good quality, and on a reasonable price. And they want to involve themselves in a lot of social activities to enhance their goodwill in the eyes of the people, because now the businessman has understood that consumer is a king. Without consumers, they will not be able to survive for a longer period of time. If the consumers, if they will not, if their goodwill will decrease in the eyes of the consumers, then the consumer will shift to their competitors. The next is the development of professional management class has resulted in a divorce between ownership and management. These professional managers exercise independent control over their business enterprises and adopt a new and enlightened management approach for managing their business concerns. The next one is the development of well organized labor union has increased the bargaining position of employees considerably, and because of this there is a less scope of employees to exploit less scope for employers to exploit the employees. Hence, development of trade union also is one of the reasons for increased social consciousness among businessmen. Now comes the difference between management and administration. It can be understood it can be understood as the skill of getting the work done from others. Management can be understood as the skill of getting work done through others. It is not exactly same as administration, which alludes to a process of effectively administrating the entire organization. The most important point that differs management from the administration is that the former is concerned with directing or guiding the operations of the organization, whereas the latter stresses on laying down the policies and establishing the objectives of the organization. So there is a difference between management and organization. Now, the difference between management and administration are, first, I'm starting with first. Management means getting work done through others, whereas administration means formulation of objective policies of organization which relates to decision making. Now, the nature of management is, it refers to execution of decisions. It is a doing function, whereas in Administration, it relates to decision making. It is a thinking function. It is not an execution like management. Management is an execution function. Then management decides who shall implement the administrative decisions, whereas administration determines what is to be done and when it's to be done, by whom it is to be done. Then status, management is relevant at the lower level in the organization, whereas administration refers to higher level in the organization. So we can say management is a middle level or lower level activity, whereas administration is a top level management. And the role of management is executive, whereas administration is of decisive decision making. Then management is concerned with policy implementation, whereas administration is concerned with policy formulation. Then management works under administration, whereas administration has full control over the activities of the organization. Then management is applicable to profit making organization, that is business organization, whereas administration is more applicable in government offices, military, club, business categories or business enterprises, hospitals, religious institutes, educational organizations, etc. Then the next difference is management put plans and policies into action, whereas administration formulate and frame policies and set objectives. Whereas in management, the focus is on managing work, whereas in administration, the focus is on making best possible allocation of limited resources, and where management manage these resources. And the management, the key people are managers. It may be middle level managers and lower level managers like supervisors, etc. Whereas in administration, these are top level managers like CEO, executives, board of directors, etc. Then management is, it is very clear the management is lower level in organization and administration is top level. So management represents employees who work for remuneration, and the administration in administration there are owners who get in return profit or a return on capital invested by them. Then function of management is executive and governing, whereas administration is legislative and determinative. So this is all for the difference between management and administration. Now these are the questions which are related to the above slides. If there is any query, you can always contact me. Thank you. And if there is any typing error, please excuse me for that.